Blackhawk counties. It's been drifting through the area for us, and I can even show you a wider view, just kind of showing you where those storms have been moving through. Plenty of tornado warnings all the way up through Wisconsin, and we're kind of on that southern end here in the TV9 viewing area. So, certainly there is plenty of energy, plenty of heat and moisture for those storms to work with here as they continue to move through. So, still something we're going to watch for, especially our northern counties right now. Looking like Cedar Rapids, Iowa City areas are a little bit quieter for us as things are kind of, bubbling up and fizzling out ever so often, but certainly something we're continuing to watch. It's why that tornado watch is in effect for us until that 10 o'clock hour.
We're going to go ahead and put a storm track on that rotation. We've got the rotation back up. The warning to the north, the severe thunderstorm that includes Strawberry Point, Elkport, as we can see, that is in effect until 6 o'clock tonight. Tornado warning in effect until 5:45. We'll also be running down some safety rules for you in just a second as well. But we're going to just go ahead and target that area of rotation. We're going to move it off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So again, the storms are moving very, very rapidly. That in itself will lead itself to some strong winds. That puts it at Backbone State Park, right about now, right around 5:15. We know we're slightly ahead of that with 5:13 our current time. Edgewood at 5:24. Wood, it looks like that storm arrives about 5:28. Ellis Park at 5:29. Colesburg City Park at 5:35 and 5:36. The city of Colesburg. That's the area that we certainly want to watch to make sure that we are staying safe in that area as that area of rotation moves across the warning area. I want to stress again that, as Jan mentioned, this does not include Manchester as well as Independence. It is a area that extends across far, far northeastern areas of Buchanan and again northern areas of Delaware County. It does cross Highway 13, of course, as Highway 13 moves off toward the north.
And those reminders for those who are included in that tornado warning, the Lamont area, again, make sure that you are getting to your safe place now. That's that lowest possible level. Even if you don't have a basement, get to that lowest possible level, that interior most room. Put as many walls between you and the outside of that building as possible. If you have any blankets, pillows, sheets and stuff around, if you're in maybe a guest bedroom or a bathroom, you try to use those to help protect you a little bit more as well. And then obviously stay there until the threat has passed. We will continue to be with you here on TV9, your NOAA Weather Radio, another great tool, the First Alert Weather app. You can grab your phone, take that with you. Obviously, all of those are great tools to continue to keep with you during this time. And it's the same protocol for tornado warnings as well as severe thunderstorm warnings. A lot of times we hear that those may be not taken as seriously, but either way, again, we know the power of wind, we know all of that. So make sure you're, whatever type of warning you're under, that you are taking those safety precautions, getting to that safe place and staying there until that threat has passed over.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at our Manchester City cam right now. It's the closest one to the storm that's moving through, and we're looking to the west right now. So we're going to kind of swing the Manchester City cam around, if it'll move for me, off toward the north. That's kind of where that cell is, and just kind of see what we're seeing. Certainly some darkening skies in the city of Manchester as well. Again, there was a ragged looking sky behind the system in Independence earlier. Not noticing anything in particular right now on our Manchester City cam as we look toward the north. Again, the storm a ways away from Manchester itself, far, far northern areas of Delaware County. But we can see certainly there you've got a little more ragged looking sky. Certainly some indications you could be seeing some strong winds in the storm as they move through, but we'll continue to keep our eye on that as well as that storm continues to move off to the northeast. I want to remind you, right around 50 to 60 miles per hour. Also a reminder once again, we do have that tornado watch in effect. It was posted earlier. It does continue for Tama, Cedar Rapids, Maquoketa, and points to the north. Primary threats have been damaging winds up to this point, but as we said, although not zero, a tornadic threat is certainly there, and we're seeing that right now across areas of far northeastern Buchanan, northern Delaware County. Large hail has also been possible in some of the storms. Have not had any storm reports come out from those cells, but once again, that possibility is there as the atmosphere is kind of prime, as Jan had mentioned, for the development of severe weather.
Right now, if we look at Max 2, I'm kind of taking a look again at that rotation. We continue to see a fairly tight rotation on that right around Backbone State Park. So again, that's obviously one of those areas where there's plenty of folks out and about or maybe camping or something like that. If you know somebody who's in this area, make sure that they are taking those precautions. Anywhere you're seeing those reds, that's air moving away from the radar. Anywhere you're seeing those greens, that's air moving towards the radar. If we get those areas really, really tight together like that we're seeing right over the backbone area and just off to the north of Dundee and Forestville areas, that is where we're looking at that potential for a tornado, and that's why that tornado warning has been issued. So again, anywhere that we're seeing those colors really, really tight together, that's what we would refer to as a couplet, and that's exactly what we're seeing right there. So certainly something that we are going to continue to monitor. Again, this warning for Buchanan and Delaware counties, and it is in effect until 5:45, so about another half hour or so, and it looks like we may have just had that extended as well farther to the north. Do you want to take that one? It's
sure.
Loading.
Yep, they have now extended that, and not, again, unexpected, as we did watch that cell move kind of to the north or moving more toward the northeast out of that warning box. There's a new tornado warning in effect. This is in effect until 6 p.m. in the same area, basically, that was under that tornado or the severe thunderstorm warning earlier, Clayton County. Again, radar indicated rotation with some strong areas of hail, about 1.25 inches in diameter. So again, some big hail moving through that area. Let's go ahead and give you a closer pinpoint on that warning area itself. And it does include the city of Strawberry Point. It stretches from Edgewood up toward Osterdock, as we can see, over to Guttenberg, Elkport, and Littleport. We'll swing our Guttenberg city cam around in a little while, kind of watch as that system moves in. As far as the main area of rotation that Jan has been pinpointing very, very nicely, it hasn't entered that warning box quite yet, but it's very near Highway 13. Looks it's just to the south or southeast of Strawberry Point. So again, as that movement continues off toward the north and east, that's why that warning has been extended farther to the north. May not go toward the Colesburg area or Greeley area as much, may move into areas of Clayton County as it continues that northeastward movement. The storms in Clayton County reportedly moving close to 60 miles per hour. So again, very, very rapid movement on these storms. And again, we're watching that area of rotation in areas just off the southern portion of Clayton County. Now moving into Delaware County, as we can see, moving out of Buchanan County. So it looks like Buchanan County, you're certainly clear of that rotation. If you are in your safe place, you can come out as well. We'll go ahead and take a look at the reflectivity in that area. Notice as well the darker shades of purple. Very, very good indication that there's hail within the storm as well. That would be between Strawberry Point and, as Jan had mentioned, Backbone State Park. Again, could be some very, very large hail. We're going to go ahead and give you a quick storm track. We'll let Jan take a look at some of the hail in the storm. And again, we're going to kind of pinpoint that rotation area. We just got a new scan in. Let me go back to velocity itself, see the position of that. And yeah, you can see right there, just off near Edgewood. Edgewood, those of you in Blackbone State Park, Strawberry Point, you should certainly be in your safe place as this cell continues to move through. Now let's go ahead and pinpoint the center of that rotation and bring it off toward the northeast. So we'll go out for about, let's say the next half hour, which takes us close to the expiration of this. It looks like the Mossy Glen State Preserve, about 5:24. Littleport, storm's going to arrive at about 5:29. We're talking about the rotation in the storm. Elkport about 5:33. Gardnerville at 5:42. Guttenberg City Park at 5:44. Give you some indication of when that storm can move in. Definitely be ahead of that storm by getting to your safe place now.
Yeah, so we were talking about that hail potential here. So if we want to swap back over to Max 2, again, Joe kind of mentioned those really, really deep reds and purples that are showing up in the Strawberry Point area just off to the east of Strawberry Point. I'm going to turn on our hail tracker here, and you'll see kind of exactly what we're looking at for that hail size. So anywhere you're seeing, obviously, kind of the more middle parts of that, that's going to be that bigger hail. If we put on a query, it's got up to about between quarter and ping pong ball sized hail with that cell there. So certainly some large hail possible as that storm continues to move through. Again, now off to the north of Backbone, fortunately, and moving through just off to the east of Strawberry Point, and continuing to push off to the north through Clayton County, again, kind of on a track up towards Littleport and Elkport areas. So that's where we're watching that. Those are the areas, if this storm is able to stay sustained, that's where we could see those larger hail reports coming in with this one. That's right now, again, kind of watching that rotation potential, that hail potential, all kind of modes of severe weather with that will be possible. So again, if you're in these areas, if you're in Clayton County as the storm continues to push into the area, that is what we're going to be watching. I'll kind of set that in motion for you here and zoom back out a little bit. You can kind of see how, as that's drifting again up between Strawberry Point now and moving off towards Elkport and eventually up across the Mississippi. Now, the good thing is if we can kind of move that out, this event will hopefully kind of be done earlier on in the evening for us. But certainly right now, this is what we're going to be watching and staying with you here. That new warning is in effect until 6 o'clock. So that's what we'll be continuing to watch through that time frame.
And so far, one storm report. You're noticing live. That's the Gothenburg City Cam live. We're kind of monitoring the skies as well with our city cams. A great way to watch the weather as it moves through. One thing we're going to watch is as that storm continues to progress very rapidly, it'll move into areas of Grant County as well. And if it can hold again its strength, that could extend that tornado warning even further. Do want to let you know if you're just joining us. Very scattered activity across portions of eastern Iowa right now. Areas of Benton County, we can see back toward Iowa County, some very isolated activity. There was a stronger cell that moved through southern areas of Cedar County earlier, now moving into Jackson County, but really the main threat, and we talked about this the past couple of days, that it would be across our northeast zone, we thought, for the strongest storms, and certainly that's the case with the Clayton County warning continuing in effect. Again, there is that official warning also for areas of Delaware County, northern Delaware County, but quite honestly, it looks like now the rotation has moved into areas of Clayton County, as we mentioned, just off or near or southeast of the city of Strawberry Point is one of the areas. We're going to go ahead and switch over to velocity right now to take a look. Maybe not quite as noticeable right now as it was earlier. The tight couplet that Jan talked about was very, very evident a bit earlier. Still out there with some of the rotation, but again, that can happen as well. But a distance from the radar beam can also affect that as well. So something that certainly going to watch and continue to see as we move forward in time. Going to go ahead and take a look at another radar here and see what that rotation looks like. And again, just switching radar sites as well. It looks like, again, just to the southeast of Strawberry Point near Edgewood is probably where the majority of that rotation is at this time. It does not appear as tight as it was, but again, that doesn't mean there wouldn't be anything as far as some type of stronger wind or some large hail in the storm. Did have a report earlier from Aurora of 1-inch hail as the storm moved through. So certainly that possibility still continues with this storm as well, with that moving off toward the east-northeast. Again, as it moves off toward the east-northeast around 40 to 50 miles per hour. Again, probably going to see this warning canceled a little bit earlier, I would guess, with the lack of rotation right now that we're seeing as the storm moves to the north. That does not mean that it's not going to be a strong storm with some heavy rains. That certainly will be the case as it moves north of Edgewood up toward Littleport. It'll continue to move off toward the north and east, and that's the area I would watch very carefully right now, especially across areas near Littleport, heading toward Elkport as well as that storm continues to move through. Another report for you, we'll mention the one near Lamont. Estimates of some baseball-size hail now. Baseball-size hail, that's 2 3/4 inch in diameter. That was 2 miles west of Lamont. That was reported as well, so something certainly watching very, very carefully with these cells. As we mentioned, they could produce some very, very large hail, and that certainly now has been the case. Again, one report near Aurora of 1-inch hail. Now we have a report as well across areas near Lamont, 2 miles west, of some baseball-sized hail that has moved through.
Yeah, if we take a look at Maxie, we can see that hail path as it's been moving through. Again, we've been tracking this storm, this whole cell kind of forming over Blackhawk County, continuing to trek across Delaware County through the Independence area. You can see some of those larger hail reports. If we'll turn on our query tool here and check out some of those. Yeah, it looks up to about 2 inches or so in size, just off to the north and east of the Independence area, to the south and west of the Strawberry Point area. So those are those reports that Joe was just mentioning near Lamont. So again, certainly some very intense hail coming in with this storm as it's been moving through. And we will continue to watch that. Again, hail, something like that, especially when it's being driven by that wind, not something you want to be dealing with at all. So that's why we are continuing to make sure folks are aware, even as we're tracking that rotation, even if you don't have that rotation right near you, still have other hazards with this storm. And that's why we're talking about that hail potential as well. Still watching that storm as it continues to push through Clayton County at this time, now moving past Strawberry Point up towards the Elkport, Littleport areas, as well as Osterdock. Also, eventually making its way probably towards the Gothenburg area. That's something that we're watching there on our city cam right now. Not really seeing a lot just yet, but a little bit, obviously of those darkening skies at this time. I'm going to zoom out here one more time again for all of our viewers across the TV9 viewing area, reminding you that right now we're really tracking these storms in Clayton County for us, but we are going to continue to watch the development across all of eastern Iowa, even though we're not seeing really much just yet. There are a few other cells that, we've been kind of keeping our eyes on here. You can see a few little pops of yellow and red here and there. Most of the time, especially those that are kind of off to the south, they've been dying out, fortunately. But hopefully that continues to happen, but we'll continue to keep watching it here in the weather lab, and certainly we'll continue to stay on at least through that 6 o'clock time frame for this warning that is over Clayton County. And as long as that warning is out, at least that's what we'll be continuing to track. That velocity for us looking a little bit better, at least, or better in the sense of not there as much. So that's certainly some good news. But still, obviously, again, that tornado warning in effect, that hail potential still around for us. So that's what we're going to continue to be tracking here.
Good news, and we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but confirmed by the Weather Service. Northern areas of Delaware County, your tornado warning has been canceled. As we expected, the rotating part of the storm has moved off farther to the north and east, as Jan was talking about, across areas of Clayton County. So again, Delaware County, you're clear of that warning. If you're still in your safe place, you have time to come out. Those of you near Strawberry Point, certainly in the Strawberry Point area, the storm has moved off to your north and east right now, kind of giving you that pinpoint look once again of the cell as it continues to move through. You'll notice it's, again, approaching Elkport and Littleport right now. Those will be two areas within that warning that you definitely want to be in your safe place. Eventually getting closer to Gothenburg, as we can see. We're continuing to kind of watch our Gothenburg city cam as well to see what that storm would look like or bring as it moves across areas of Clayton County, crossing the Mississippi, heading into areas of Grant County, in southwest areas of Wisconsin. But Littleport and Elkport right now, you're kind of the ones that are very close to where that rotation was present earlier. But as Jan noted, it's not as strong as it was earlier, certainly. And it's something that's good news, in fact, but you're still seeing some large hail from the storm, or hail in general, as well as that possibility of some very, very heavy rains. And with a 55-mile-per-hour movement on the storm, as last outlined by the Weather Service, that certainly also means we are looking at some strong winds. There's definitely be some gusty winds. Now, just to run down the safety rules for you one more time, during a warning, remember, this is a tornado warning especially, but if you do get severe thunderstorm warnings with very, very strong winds, you want to do these as well. Right now we're talking about the Clayton County tornado warning. Get to a safe place immediately, lowest level, interior room. Cover yourself with blankets, pillows, a bike helmet. Stay there until that threat is passed. You can get updates if you don't have a television in your area, if that area of your storm shelter. Grab the First Alert app. It's on your phone. We are streaming there. We're streaming in many places across many, many platforms. NOAA Weather Radio also gives you some information. You can also connect with us many ways for severe weather. If you do have some damage to report, pictures to share, if you can safely, we'd love you to post those on the social media app or unews at kcrg.com. Also through the First Alert Weather app. You can also connect with us on kcrg.com. Many of our streaming devices, as we can see, and also many of our radio partners as well. So certainly tune in there as well if you need that for quick and easy information. Again, a look at what velocity is looking like right now, which is the wind. We showed you earlier that it was down across areas in the Aurora-Winthrop area. That storm quickly moved off, and right now, just kind of taking a look, it really looks like that rotation much more broad in nature, not as tight, which is good news for us. But we still do have that warning that continues all the way until 6 o'clock. And we'll be here until that warning either expires, the storm moves out of the area, or once again we find out that that warning has been canceled. So far, though, they are continuing to watch. They say the tornado threat has diminished significantly, which I would agree with. They say still a threat, though. So far, they are keeping that warning in effect until 6 o'clock, which would take us through the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, continuing to kind of track all that here for us as we kind of been moving our Gothenburg city camera around trying to see exactly what's going on there. But it does look like there's just quite a bit of rain moving through with this storm. So not really able to see a lot, unfortunately, for us at this time. But again, something we'll continue to track here. That velocity couplet no longer there. That's certainly good news. But again, we have been still tracking that hail threat as well. That's something we'll continue to watch also. We've already gotten, we said, said baseball sized hail reports. That's not something you want to mess with at all. So, if even if you're not thinking that, well, there's no rotation, or it doesn't seem like it's that windy or something like that, it's still a good idea to try to get to that interior-most part of the building and try to stay away from those windows. Anytime you have hail that's going to be wind-driven, that's not something you want to deal with at all. Looks like they maybe have condensed that severe thunderstorm warning at least a little bit, kind of backing it off. So Strawberry Point now out of that, and out of the severe thunderstorm warning itself, at least, may start to condense that tornado warning. We'll see if that happens or not. But for now, at least, this is the area that we're watching that is in effect right now. The strongest of that storm kind of over the Elkport area. Just off to the east of Littleport, to the west of Osterdock as well, and continuing to push into the kind of central parts, I guess, of Clayton County for us. They're drifting off to the south of Garnavillo and eventually off towards Guttenberg and Glen Haven. Looks like maybe we just got some sort of cancellation in. Let's see if we can check that out for us here. Oh, that looks like part of the watch may have been canceled out. So let's go check that out for you guys. That tornado watch was put into effect earlier on for us here today, and we've got. Let's see if we can get some of our counties taken out for you here. So it looks like Waterloo area, Black Hawk County now out of that tornado watch for us. Still in effect for counties like Fayette and Clayton County. Obviously, that's where we have that active warning here at this time. And then down towards Buchanan, Delaware counties, Dubuque County as well. And still actually in effect for Benton and Lynn counties off to the south also. But again, those counties that were in effect just off to the west, Black Hawk, Grundy, all of you guys now out of this threat here for the evening. Areas still shaded, though, in that yellow color will continue to be under that tornado watch until that 10 p.m. time frame. Looks like we are going to be continuing, though, that tornado warning here. So just got an update coming in from the National Weather Service. So that tornado warning that we had, that we've been talking about there over Clayton County, that is still in effect and continuing to go through that 6 o'clock time frame. They have kind of condensed it down a little bit. We'll kind of zoom back in on that for you. So again, kind of continuing to push off to the north, to the east, eventually off towards the Guttenberg area, and put that back into motion for you there. Kind of see that as it's drifting off again to the north and east. Right now, not looking at really great velocity on it, not looking at that really tight couplet, that classic signature that we would expect to see on the radar, but the folks at the National Weather Service are seeing something that is continuing to have them want to continue that warning for us here. Looking like if we kind of go back through those velocity scans a little bit, you can kind of see where it was really strong there in your backbone, those really bright colors, and we do still have a few of those bright blips every now and again, but not looking overly great, and that's certainly good news. You know, we're happy to see that that it's not super intense of a cell, and that hopefully we should be getting off okay with this. But again, we're going to continue to track this one here as it moves through Clayton County up towards the Guttenberg area is where the next kind of city that is going to be headed towards. I'm
quite honestly surprised that La Crosse Weather Service hasn't replaced it, because they have two warnings out in the same area. They have Clayton County under both a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag and a tornado warning out for the exact same place. So I'm surprised, especially again with the lessening of the rotation, that they have not canceled the tornado warning and just continue to monitor that. If we take a look at the storm reports in the last 3 hours, there have not been many. This is good news, as Jan had mentioned. You can see right now that we have just a few across areas of eastern Iowa, mainly the hail that we talked about. That's with this cell that's now moving through southern areas of Clayton County, particularly near the Lamont, Aurora, as well as Backbone State Park area. We'll take a look and kind of query these to see some of the hail reports. That was a 1-inch report, again, near Aurora, which we had a little bit earlier. We also had a baseball-sized report. That came in Also near the Lamont area, 2.75 inches in diameter. That is some very, very large hail, can do some damage. So far, Buchanan County itself has not reported any damage. Some minor trees down across portions of Buchanan County where that storm moved through. That'd be far northern areas of the state. They also reported the possibility of some heavy areas of rain. Also hit a 1-inch report, that also near Lamont in Delaware County. So those are the reports that we've had across the TV9 viewing area. Other than that, the main storm cells really have been across areas of Wisconsin, where they have had numerous areas, even of some confirmed tornadoes earlier. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look once again here across all of eastern Iowa. And that strong cell, yep, still moving through southern areas of Clayton County, but we'll even widen the picture out further for you and give you an indication that there still are some scattered storms. Now remember, the atmosphere is still available, the moisture and energy is still there from areas of Clayton County, I would say, back through portions of Buchanan into Benton, down toward Iowa County. If you go toward the east of that line, that's where we still have plenty of energy available for the possibility of some of those storms to develop, and that's what we'll watch very carefully during the next couple of hours. That tornado watch does continue for far northern Iowa. Again, that continues until 10 o'clock tonight. I would probably see, and as Jan showed you earlier, many of those areas right now seeing that being canceled farther off to the west. There's the cell itself moving through the Guttenberg area. It looks like some rain. Visibility's down a bit in Guttenberg on our city cam right now as that storm moves through, but certainly no indication that we're seeing anything in the way of a tornadic storm or as anything in the way of rotation within this storm that has prompted that tornado warning to stay in effect. If we take a look, I believe they have now canceled the tornado warning for areas of Clayton County. They have now canceled the tornado warning. Why don't you give us, again, the storm energy I'm real curious about, and then take a look if you've got a couple city cams to show yet. We can kind of wrap this up and then, again, kind of monitor it and come back if we need to, but then we'll be back also at 6.
Yeah, so obviously they have now canceled that tornado warning, so no tornado warning in effect for us here, but just want to remind folks that we do still have this potential throughout the evening hours. Those really, really bright colors that you're seeing behind there, that is that available storm energy. The storms kind of overlaid on top of that for you here, so you can kind of see exactly what we're looking at. Obviously those storms moving through those areas that still have that energy, so as they continue to drift off to the east, even through Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, even through Dubuque, areas still have plenty of energy for those storms to work with. So again, make sure that you are still paying attention to the weather, staying weather aware here through the evening, as that potential will still be with us. Again, we do still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Clayton County, but that tornado warning has now been allowed to expire for us here. And I think you want to check out a few of those city cams on Max 1.
Yeah, we'll just take a quick look at the Cassville city cam. It's on Max 1 right now, and again, just kind of shows what it looks like across the Mississippi as we look back toward Iowa. Yes, a bit of a ragged looking sky, certainly some storms, some heavy rain, some gustier winds. At this point in time, though, no tornadic storms. With that tornado warning expiring, we are going to leave our continuous coverage right now. Meteorologist Jan Ryherd and I will be here in the TV9 Weather Lab. We'll continue to monitor the weather situation. Of course, we appreciate you staying with us here on your trusted local news and weather source, KCRG TV9.